Gather everyone together, let's make a scene. Go green, go green. It's easier to go green when you're a team. Go green, go green. And make our neighborhood the very best it's ever been. Go green, go green. Gather everyone together, let's make a scene. Go green, go green. Gather everyone together, let's make a scene. Go green, go green, go green. Gather everyone together, let's make a scene. Go green, go green. It's easier to go green when you're a team. Go green, ever been? Go green, go green.
More than a century later,
Gather
illnesses like malaria and yellow fever still threaten millions of lives every year, with Nigeria carrying one of the heaviest malaria burdens on the continent. And that concludes the news on the Verdant Living series with Wani Afronelli. Stay tuned now as we continue our discussion on unsung heroes, sheroes of the creeks, looking at women, water, and the World Humanitarian Day. Let's watch the video, Fia Minji. Stick around, don't go nowhere.
Why you want to kill my fish? You will stop the pollution in the ocean. Cause if I don't make it fia in the belly, I don't make it fia in the saniga. That fish up, sardine up, geisha up, crayfish up. See if water they clean, fish go sweet. If water they clean, fish go live. That fish up, sardine up.
We don't need no spilling oil or plastic rivers, just one flowing ocean for them fishes. We don't need no spilling oil or plastic rivers, just one flowing ocean for them fishes. We don't need no spilling oil or plastic rivers, just one flowing ocean for them fishes.
go green, go green. And make our neighborhood the very best it's ever been. Go green, go green.
All right, you're welcome back to the program, the Verdant Living series with Wani Afronelli. And today we're looking at she heroes, the unsung she heroes, women and World Humanitarian Day, as well as water and water protection. A certain community in River State, at some point we thought it was in Falga local government, but it appears it is in Okrika local government area. That community is called, formerly known rather as IKPUKULU, now Dick-Fiberesima Ama. IKPUKULU sits on the water, but its women cannot drink the water. It's a saltwater environment. There is no electricity in this community. At the moment, there is no connection at all. I told you from inception, I had experienced this in HA. But to think that a community very close to Port Harcourt, Port Harcourt as the capital city of River State, has never experienced electricity is amazing to think, you know. Now, when night falls, the community falls with it. I was moved to, it was quite emotional for me because I didn't expect that. I didn't think that after the experience in HA in 2021, I would have to experience similar thing on you know, there was no, nobody warned me. Maybe I would have prepared better because I couldn't even capture the moments as I would have. But I'm going to show a few videos, and then in another episode would show a proper documentary, put everything together and see how we can project that. But after what I experienced last week Thursday, I have made up my mind to not just throw a spotlight on the IKPUKULU community, but to call out their leaders and remind them their primary functions as the councillor, the local government chairman, the state House of Assembly representative, the representative at the level of the House of Reps, National Assembly, and the representative of that community at the level of the Senate. We're going to be doing a constant reminder because for me, I think that between today, August 20, 2026 to December 31, 2026, a lot could be done in that community, especially as it has to do with alleviating the trauma and the pain of the women in those communities. Women in communities that have these facilities find it difficult to thrive and to hold a home, to, be the foundation of their homes. How much more women in such communities where there is absolutely no social amenity, none, not safe drinking water, not enhanced sanitation facilities as toilets that not lights. So I don't know who can survive without these amenities. It's crazy because they have leaders, right? And when it's time for election, the ballot boxes get there. So why should development, sustainable development, not get to IKPUKULU community? I am aware sometime in 2019, there was a cleanup from the Eastern Bypass, the waterfront there, through Abloma down to Okrika. I was invited as a speaker at that program. It was tagged, that program was tagged Our Seas, Our Lives. And it was put together by the House Committee on Environment, River State House of Assembly, championed by Honorable Linda Somiari-Stewart, the representative of Okrika State constituency in the River State House of Assembly. Madam, I salute you. Okay, so we did that cleanup. At least I witnessed it firsthand. I went on a boat. We used drag nets to pull trash all the way from Eastern Bypass down to Okrika. That was my first experience as well. Little did I know that there are communities within the same Okrika local government area that do not just suffer from plastic marine debris. I went there to survey, to ascertain if I will be able to do a cleanup there. That's what I went there to do. My reverse people. And I got the shock of my life. The only interesting thing is the fact that I got some fresh fish. Saltwater catfish is one that I haven't eaten in a while. And I got to, purchase that. And then periwinkles. I love them a lot. In fact, that's my therapy for malaria. Periwinkles with scent leaf and unripe plantain. Yes, the green one, very green. In fact, as you are cutting it from the bunch, that's the one I used to treat my malaria. Treat malaria, not be my own. Okay, so that's the only benefit I could say I got. It's actually, I don't know how, I don't have the words. That's why I'm quite, I did a lot to make sure I'm not emotional this morning. But you need to hear, I'm trying to see how I can send the video, get it across so that you can see what I saw. The women are appealing. Whatever happens, we'll play one video today. So yes, Honorable Linda Somiari-Stewart pulled her weight behind that project. Can we see the Save Our Lives, Save Our Seas, Save Our Lives picture? There's a picture there. She put that program together and it was quite impactful because when we got to Okochiri, King Ateketom actually came out and apparently worked with them. So you see that this project was set out to harvest plastics for recycling and upcycling. And in line with what we are doing with the Verdant Living series, it highlights the steps we need to take in actualizing SDGs 1, 2, 14, and 15. SDG 1, no poverty, zero hunger. SDG 2, SDG 14, life below water, and SDG 15, life on land. In fact, it also covers SDG 13, climate action. So yes, Honorable Linda did that, and it was quite very commendable, I must say. But since 2019 till date, what has happened? What has changed? Why are other communities, especially a community like IKPUKULU, still suffering plastic marine debris? Is there a sustainable way that this efforts by Honorable Linda could have been, maintained? I volunteer for Ocean Conservancy, and one project, the reason I'm running a survey on our waterways is to see how we can introduce the International Trash Trap Network in River State, because this is where the problem is actually not. I've worked in different states hosting cleanups in various states in Nigeria, but I'm from River State, so this should be my primary assignment. I would love for Honorable Linda to, okay, there's a picture of your viewing wherever you are. This is one of her works pushing for the River State Sports Institute, ISACA, to be remodeled back to what it was, a maritime education institution. For whatever reasons it was changed. I haven't done in-depth research on that. But the picture I'm referring to is Save Our Lives. Seize Our Lives, yes. That's the picture, the program that held in 2019. Yes, it was a sensitization program at the River State House of Assembly. A lot of members were there. I also spoke at that event, and we did the dragging of trash. Yes, so in all of this, what is the call to action? How do we maintain such a program? Have there been other events? Have there been other programs that are in line with this? Are there other ones? Are there other ones that are on the pipeline? What are we doing to save communities like IKPUKULU? You heard in the news about the fishers, Andoni fishermen, and those of Okrika. They're having a dispute, and the king is aware, King Akteketom. If you have the ears of the king, please reach out to him that there's a problem. I was in that meeting on Tuesday between the River State government, Ministry of Agriculture, the Fisheries Department, had to call. This is the third meeting, and again they're sending out letters. It appears that each time they send out notifications, only one party comes for the meeting. There is a conflict, and they're appealing that certain fishermen from either of the communities should stop using certain gears in fishing, because when they do this, they reduce the fishery stock. There's depletion, species that are native to that locality. So how can we stop this? How do you use, these people think about food alone. You have those kind sizes of fish. They are still fingerlings and juveniles. They're not up to, harvest size, table size. They're not up to that. Even catfish that is reared at, aquaculture method, you don't harvest to eat. You don't eat juveniles or fries or fingerlings. You wait till they get to table size, possibly, or smokable size, say 500 grams, and then you can wait until they're 1 kg, 1 kg, which is better for me. I prefer 1 kg and above. So with all the cleanups that have happened in 2019, this is the first time I might be hosting a cleanup along that axis for my environment, my wealth, and Ocean Conservancy USA. What is the action plan really? Is there a sustainability plan in place to make sure that we rid our waters of plastic marine debris on the one side, that will save our aquatics? Overfishing is a problem. Now, like I said, these people think about food alone. When you harvest such sizes of fish, 50 grams, 30 grams, at the end of the day, you could harvest that particular quantity for, say, and sell it for, say, 10,000 naira. However, if you give it 3 months to 5 months, you can sell the same if there are 500 pieces and they grow to 400, 500 grams, you can sell them for 100,000 naira. So why are we in a hurry to consume? And so if all the fishes disappear, what do we do? Would you see what to harvest the next week, the next month, and the next year? Would your children continue? Because this happens to be the major source of livelihood for these people, especially in IKPUKULU community. No safe drinking water, no roads. I had to take a boat to cross from Falga to Okrika. What are the leaders of this community doing? Okay, so I'm going to open the phone line. If you are from Okrika, if you're from IKPUKULU, if you are from the neighboring communities, you can call the studio line. Let's hear your thoughts. How are the women in that community coping? At 0902-331-9362. How have you been surviving? I can't imagine not having water to drink, and the only available water is the water body, the river, and it is salt water. Or you can only get pure water by crossing the boundaries. You have to go with a boat from the community IKPUKULU across the river to Falga local government. It's very interesting. I've never crossed boundaries like that before. To get water. That's sachet water. And so these people who do not have basic amenities have to still spend their little scarce resources to purchase drinking water. They also have to use it to cook, because if the rain doesn't come, then they're left with just the water from the river, which is salt water. Nobody can cook with salt water. Nobody can drink with salt water. Nobody can bathe with salt water. So, okay, I'm trying to control so that I don't get into that state I was when I found out everything that I found out. But it's an appalling situation in the IKPUKULU community. Yes. So here's the chart. Like I said, if you're a leader from the councillor representing IKPUKULU to the state, to the local government chairman, to the state rep, who happens to be Honorable Linda Someri Stewart. I don't know if I'm correct, but the member representing Okrika Ogubulu Federal Constituency, Honorable Alison Anderson. If you hear his name, please reach out to him. If you have access to these persons, whether you're from this community or not, reach out to them. Senator Olwell Onyeso, who happens to be representing Rivers East Senatorial District, your attention is needed here. So please, whatever happens, we need prompt action in this community between now, August to December 31, 2026. The number to call is 0902-331-9362. Let's hear your thoughts. Are you from this community? Do you know what happens there? Do you have friends from this community? How are the women in IKPUKULU community surviving? I'm trying to see how we can play the video of the woman from IKPUKULU. We need to see that video. So if you'd like to share your thoughts this morning, 0902-331-9362. That's the number to call. You can also send a message via WhatsApp on 0701-312-6558. 0701-312-6558. That's the number for WhatsApp. Or you call the studio line 0902-331-9362. I'd love to hear from you. Are you from IKPUKULU? Do you know people from that community? Neighboring community?
no.
Are you from
Oh,
Anambra or from Okrika and you're a fisherman? Have you been admonished to stop using unapproved fishing gears in fishing? You are depleting your fish stock. You are making life unbearable for the settlers in the IKPUKULU community because that's their major source of livelihood, and we need to protect it at all costs. So it's a collective effort. While we're calling out the leaders, you, the settlers and indigents and residents, have your own roles to play. Community policing cannot be overemphasized. When you see people harvest these kinds of, this is the Ghana small nets, Ghana small mesh nets that they use to harvest those fishes that are rarely unapproved within that particular location. You can use this in the open sea. It wouldn't be a problem. But the ones that are closer to the communities, that it's easy access for them, you don't use this kind of gears. And so we're still running investigations to know what exactly and why these fishers use these kinds of nets, knowing well enough that it is not healthy, and it's not even ideal. It's not even ideal because when the fishes get depleted, the fish stock, and you have nothing to harvest, what do you eat? What do you consume? Yes. The studio line 0902-331-9362. That's the number to call, or 0701-312-6558 on WhatsApp. You can send a message via WhatsApp or call the studio line. I'd like to hear from you. Again, we're throwing a charge to the councillor representing IKPUKULU community. We're giving a charge to the chairman of Okrika local government area. We're also calling on the only woman amongst the representatives, the member representing Okrika State Constituency, Honorable Somiari Stewart. You have done this before. Let's go beyond just cleaning out, taking out trash from our waterways. Let's look at providing the community, IKPUKULU community in particular, with basic amenities. Electricity. If you don't want to use electricity, why don't we move on to solar? It's a lot easier to make that U-turn to solar, renewable energy. So yes, it's possible, and for all of us at My Environment, My Wealth, we're always available to help you actualize all of these goals for IKPUKULU community and every other community. Unfortunately, I'm not able to play the videos. I assure that next week we would make sure that we hear from the people themselves, not just talking, but you hear from them and what they are going through. Let's see if we can play a 1-minute video. Give me. Okay. We don't have much time. Otherwise, we're still celebrating women, especially those in inner city communities as IKPUKULU community who are thriving and striving to survive, who are holding families. It's a pity we can play the video. Like I said, next week we will do justice to that. Again, this is a final charge, no call to the representatives of IKPUKULU, from the councillor to the local government chairman, Honorable Linda Somiari Stewart, member representing Okrika State Constituency. the senator and the House of Reps member representing Okrika. Please, your attention is needed. Hello.
Hello?
Good morning. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Please wait, I'm coming back.
Okay, it's interesting to see that the line is active. So we'll continue pick it up from here next week. On that note, I'm going to say, don't forget that our city must be green, clean, and green. So give a hoot, don't pollute. You can't go green if you don't leave blue. A quick shout out to the IKPUKULU community. We see you, we see your travels, we see your challenges and your hurdles. Keep thriving and keep succeeding. Hold the homes, hold the families together. We will do what we can from our own end. Until I come your way again next week, please stay safe.
Make our neighborhood the very best it's ever been. Go green, go green. Gather everyone together, let's make a scene.